when you so okay. Well, welcome to the March version of the Winter Camp Chat. And we have let's see, we have 11 folks on the line so far. And I'll just run down through the list and let you know who's here. Um, so there's myself, Roger Bossi. We have Rosemarie Facilla from Muskegon. We have Janie Muirhead from Detroit. We have Linda Brown from, well, do you say Detroit or do you say
No,
something
I can't
else?
help it. It wasn't on the
I'm
mute
actually in
button.
Southfield, but if you say Detroit, that's fine.
Southfield, okay. And I know we have Sue Perry from Macomb County and Art and Johnsy Turner, Art Turner from Jackson, David Sterneman from, let's see, what is that? What's that little place you're from?
Lake Orion.
Lake Orion, right? We have Henrietta Miller from Detroit, and we have let's see, Tara Evans from Battle Creek. Two of us from Battle Creek now, and then Kathy Coney from Milan, I guess, right? Ann Arbor. We'll call it Ann Arbor. She's in the Ann Arbor Evening Lions Club. Um, who did I miss? I think I said Janie already. She keeps popping around on
Yeah.
my screen here. So good. All righty. Well, it's NCAA season, and a lot of people are glued to the TV watching NCAA basketball. And Michigan happens to be playing right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
and in a pretty tight game. So we may have some Michigan fans that opted to uh, watch basketball, which is perfectly fine.
God, I thought they played tonight.
Now we have, and we just had Serene, and I don't know, maybe Jesse too, but Serene Bollinger is on the line now.
Oh,
There
yeah.
she is. How are you doing, Serene?
I'm doing okay. Jesse's here. He can hear. He's just trying to get stuff ready for our executive board meeting at 2 o'clock your time.
Right, right. Yeah, I noticed that we were going to be uh, overlapping our meetings.
Oh, we just have to keep it short and end by 2 o'clock.
We'll try to end by 2 o'clock, and everybody will be able to go
Yeah.
to their next Zoom meeting.
Well, and we just got done with elections too. So
Right.
Yeah,
Just
David just told us that.
So, hey, so Art, would you be willing to start us off with a prayer again?
I'd be happy to. Shall we pray? Lord God, as we enter into the spring season with all the changeable weather and the concerns that brings of both ice and snow and warm weather, we celebrate your diversity. We celebrate your love and your presence with us. We ask your blessing upon our gathering here today, scattered across the state and across the country, and pray that we might be effective in reaching out to people and their needs, especially people with vision needs, and pray that our conversations and our activities might honor you and care for your children everywhere, that we might serve you by serving through Lions. Amen.
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 Thank you, Art.
Roger,
Yes,
this is Linda. Can I say something?
sure can.
Oh, okay. I wanted to thank you for being able to talk to the train station people, because that helped us in getting our refunds back. I thought I was going to have to go through a whole big long thing, but mine came in, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, I was glad to be able to do it, and I think as of today, I think most everybody has their money back.
Yep.
I'm not.
Yep.
Well, I don't.
If,
Last
if
time I talked to Mary, and she didn't have hers yet, and she was
She-
kind of upset about that.
she just got it
Oh,
a
good.
couple of days ago.
Oh, thank God. I'm glad, because she was
And
really upset about that.
well, I know I've talked to Marion quite a bit, and
Yeah,
and
yeah. She was
and
really
Debbie
upset.
Smith as well. Debbie was not getting her money returned to her, and so after probably three exchanges with the Amtrak customer relations group, which requires going through two levels of voicemails and waiting to get to them. We were finally able to figure out why some people didn't get their money back. And the last guy that I talked to was very, very good. They were all very nice, okay? But the last guy was very helpful in figuring out that number one, they hadn't done anything about Marion's ticket, at least the first part of her ticket,
Right.
and also Debbie, and Carolyn Collier had not received a check, and so they were able to figure out, I guess they were able to figure out to her check, or they sent her another one or something. But anyway, she called me today and said she got a check. I learned a lot about Amtrak ticketing while going through this journey, but I finally ended up having to write him another letter and email, and basically I had to get not so nice this time. Because when the last time I talked with Amtrak, they said that they had so many refunds to process that now that Marion and Debbie's were getting fixed, or at least coded correctly to get a refund, it was going to take another 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh,
That's not good.
And so I wrote him a letter and I said, look, this is not acceptable. You know that there's been a lot of negative press about Amtrak because of this situation. And so, I think it would be to your advantage to make this as possible. So it was within a couple of days of me sending that letter that Marion got her money back. So they did
great.
respond, but it takes a bit of pressure. So
right.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Sounds like you were basically running a class action lawsuit.
Well,
I mean, you were the head of the class.
I will tell you that Diane Sweeter, who basically called back the news guy to come out to the station the next day to do a little film about the situation, and then and actually did file a class action lawsuit, an ADA lawsuit with Amtrak. So that's kind of still out there, and we don't know what's going to happen with that exactly. But it sounds like Amtrak's been in contact with her, and so at least from my perspective, at least everybody got their moned back. And
Yes.
whether
Yep.
or not
Thank you so much.
I got mine back a few days after you interacted with them.
Well, interestingly, the people, so almost 95% of the people who came to winter camp on the train, or would have been on the train, they didn't have their tickets scanned. So what happened with Marion and Debbie was somebody at the Dearborn station actually scanned their ticket, so that it appeared that they had traveled. And those were the hardest ones to get the money back from, because they said,
when we got to the station, we tried to give them our tickets and whatever so they can scan it, but they said, no, don't do that right now. So none of us did it.
Well, that was to your advantage, because when it came time for them to look at those ticket reservations, it was kind of like you had never traveled. And so they could easily reverse the charge on your credit card to get your money back.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail box with Andrew.
Oh, there was
the folks who had paid cash.
Hey, can you
They
mute
couldn't do
William while he's doing his side conversation?
Oh, where's William?
I'm right here.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to say, there was no train. There was all bus. Both ways.
Right. So everybody rode the bus, and I think that was where their glitch happened, that they didn't scan any tickets.
Right.
Because they didn't have anybody to do that. And that was the same way going back, that there was nobody to scan a ticket.
Right.
And so it appeared that you had never traveled. And
Okay.
so that's why some of the money came back real quick, and other money did not happen so quick.
Right.
So,
Roger, this is David. Can I say something real quick?
sure.
My dad asked the bus driver, because I was the last one to get off the bus in Pontiac. He asked what was up with the train, and he said that the Amtrak recently switched from using diesel trains to electric trains, and
Yep.
he said they weren't at the time they weren't liking the cold weather. That's why they were having issues.
No excuse for customer service.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's definitely their problem. And the issue was that they when you would call them, like the day going home, they had actually scheduled the train, but then it stopped in Chicago, apparently malfunctioned in Chicago, and so they said, okay, well, we're going to have buses. So Brian Cook was told that they were going to send buses that would take people to each individual stop. And of course, only one bus finally came, but it was like had all the regular passengers on it. So they had not figured how many people we had and didn't provide ample buses to get them. And so I guess even on the way over, there was supposed to have been two buses because of the number of travelers coming to Battle Creek, but they only had one bus, and apparently it was very crowded. And
it was only 26 people could fit on that bus.
Right. So yeah, it was not good, and we are actually, we're probably going to start looking at some alternatives to Amtrak, but I also have heard from a couple of people that they want to ride the train. So my concern is if they still unless they figure out what the issue is, why would they not have problems with trains next winter?
Right, because those were new trains that they were using.
Sounds like they just didn't look at their computer. I mean, they didn't look at how many passengers they had ticketed.
No, they didn't.
And provide enough seats.
Yeah, it was really stupid, and I would say that their customer service people are very nice, but it's like it wasn't, it's always somebody else's fault, and their logistics planning people really dropped the ball on this because they just didn't, whatever they said they didn't do, they said they were going to do one thing and they didn't do it. So,
Roger, may I share something?
Yes.
Please. I think that Amtrak must be having some kind of issues because when Shirley came in, she was supposed to come in Thursday night, okay, to Holland. And when she got to Chicago, they said the train was going to be like a half hour late. And the train ended up leaving her and several other passengers. And the train left for Holland without people on it that were supposed to be on it. So fortunately, Lion Jack and we drove to Chicago and picked her up and brought her back here to Muskegon.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like a 3-4 hour drive each way, but we didn't want her to have to sit there all day long, because they would have put her in a hotel for overnight, but then she would have had to sit there all day long till the train left again, to come to Holland.
Wow.
So
what a hassle.
There's got to be something going on, with their system, or something's going on that's not happening.
Well,
and they didn't have any problem refunding her for the part of the trip from Chicago to Holland. They did refund her that part, but the thing is that this sounds like an Amtrak issue that's occurring, in other places, not just in Battle Creek.
Right. Yeah, I would say so. Operational issues for sure.
That's crazy.
So we had looked at apparently some time ago. We used to use charter buses from Detroit area over to Battle Creek, and I don't know exactly when that changed to go to using the train. But I know the train is very popular. It's a very popular option for some people. But we do have some contacts for some charter bus services that we may look into and see what that would cost. see how that compares to the cost of Amtrak, which seems to keep going up. And I know that that the discount for disabled persons was shrunk this year because
and Roger,
it's
our
costing more.
group, Roger, our group tried to use the charter bus system like you're talking about, and it got to be quite expensive because we have to send an empty bus from Muskegon to Detroit. Then we'd take the people back, and then we'd have to send them back, and then we'd have an empty bus coming back from Detroit to Muskegon. So you're paying for 4 trips, and 2 of them don't have any people on them.
Right. It's
and it got to be more than our budget could afford, so we didn't do it anymore.
Right.
So just to be aware of that.
Maybe you could get a charter bus driver who drives from Detroit, drops the campers off, pay for them to go to the casino for a night, and then is ready to take everybody back again.
Well, they'd have to be gone for 2 nights. So
2 nights, yeah.
For one night, but they can, it's a 50-50 deal.
Right.
Yeah, well, if you guys make out a different, a different thing that's better, let us know. But for sure, that's one of the reasons that we didn't do it anymore, because we couldn't afford the budget for it because it was too expensive.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. I mean, I know that we used to take bus trips over to Cedar Point, and the guy, basically the bus driver, dropped everybody off and then went to the parking lot with all the other buses and just slept for 6 hours or 8 hours or something. So, they just hang around and then until it's time to go home. So, but anyway, it would be nice if we can get, Serene said, get the driver to be a volunteer at camp.
Definitely.
If anybody knows somebody that's got a,
Sam has joined us.
Sam has joined us, as well as Bill.
And Bill.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Bill.
I joined just in time to hear. I missed something about.
They were just talking about the
20 minutes
train
of
stuff.
Amtrak discussion.
Oh, yeah, and what to do for next time and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to run a short meeting today, since we have a couple members on our call here who have other things to do at 2:00, do we have any other topics besides transportation?
Well, I wanted to ask people what they liked about winter camp this year, because we did have some changes to some different activities. So, and welcome. And Bill, let's see, you're there too. He's on mute.
Bill's muted though.
We missed you, Sam. But I know you were skiing somewhere.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I heard about the Amtrak debacle, but I heard that it was a really enjoyable experience all in all. And you guys had some changes going on and stuff. I'd love to hear what y'all's experience was about it. Since I wasn't there, take me there.
Right.
Take me there, please.
Well, we had a record number of campers. We had 64 campers. That was more than we've had for a long time. So we had a lot of folks. I'll let other people chime in.
I thought it was cool that the news station from Kalamazoo did a news story on the camp, and they also had a little history in there when it started. I didn't realize how long this camp had been going on for, like when it initially started. So they were out there for most of the afternoon on Saturday.
Nice.
History of the camp or history of Kalamazoo Radio?
They did a little history of the camp, and then they also had some footage of the activities that we were doing.
Nice.
Right. That was one of the first times in my knowledge that we'd actually been on TV. And I had sent notes to our local newspaper, The Shopper, and also to the TV station. I said, "Hey, we're doing this weekend. You want to come out?" And so the guy called me like on maybe Thursday and said, "Hey, I want to come out." So I said, "Okay, good, Saturday." So he was there 2 or 3 hours actually. And of course, all of his filming and interviews and everything condensed down to probably about 5 minutes, if that.
That's okay. Yep.
And but we had a nice interview with Rosemarie, and also District Governor B. Furman, and it was really good. It was a great piece. And if anybody has not seen it, I can send you the link. Sam, did you see have you seen the link? I think I sent it out at some point, but I can send it out again.
I believe it's there. I set it aside for a while. If you could send it out again, though, I'd appreciate it.
I'll send it out when I send these notes out and stuff.
Yeah, one of the
Roger, minutes in this meeting.
Yeah, one of the things that I liked, Roger, was the descriptive movie that we did.
What movie did you watch?
What was it called?
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound, yeah.
Oh, the dog.
What's it about? Two dogs and a cat.
Yes.
Sassy.
Yeah, Sassy was the naughty one.
Only thing.
It was
only
fun.
Thing about it, I mean, it was supposed to be descriptive, but to me, they wasn't really telling, you know, what was going on in the movie.
Really?
No.
I remember that.
I mean, you had to kind of like pull it out yourself. They, you know, like they have a descriptive movie and they may say, well, the dog did such and such and he did such a... No, wasn't none of that going on, but...
I'm sorry, I remember that from the 90s when I heard it in audio descriptive. I'm sorry. Does anybody else comment on that?
Well, you know, I guess it depends because, like for myself, I've had vision, you know, prior to my loss, and so the description to me wasn't all that, you know, it was because I guess I could visualize as they were talking about things. But if you've never seen something before, I think that might make a difference. And being that it was done in the 90s, I think the descriptions have gotten, you know, more
they're more
detailed
now.
So if you closed your eyes, would you be able to understand what the movie was portraying, or was it kind of difficult?
No, I can understand it. You know, I can visualize it. But then again,
it sounds like Janie had sort of the opposite
I
experience.
understood what was going on, but I mean, you know, but what I'm saying with the dogs talking and everything, but you know, but what I'm saying is they, you know, didn't have like nobody in the background saying, well, the dog did this and they ran across that. You know, no, it wasn't like that,
so
you know.
Did they not
she
have
just wanted more detail. Yeah, she wanted more detail.
Well, yeah,
so they did have an audio track.
Well,
I don't need to belabor this, but you know.
David, you started wait.
Really
David started to say something.
Hang on.
David, did you have an opinion?
Just that I think overall the audible description was good. I've seen that movie before, but I've never seen it with audible description. So I was the last time I saw it was with some good friends, so I was able to understand what was going on better this time when people weren't talking.
Okay.
Yeah, that was part of the problem.
Well, I noticed, like in one of the more recent movies that I saw with our church, that they did a lot more description. Like, for example, with something to do with like a Christmas movie about the a manger and all that, and they said how Mary was wearing a brown, you know, shawl, blah blah
that's
blah.
what I'm saying,
Whereas,
you know.
yeah, but that's the late movies that were described, you know, more recently do that more than the older, you know, descriptive movies did, you know. I remember watching Field of Dreams as, you know, without video description. And then when I saw it, you know, with video description, I didn't realize that when they put their hand in the cornfield, their hand disappeared. So it was, you know, and then he took his hand out again, it reappeared, he stuck it back out in there and it disappeared again. It was interesting. But I would have never known that had they not, you know, described those things. So I think it really depends. So maybe next time we'll just choose a movie that's more recent that has a little better more detailed description than the older ones do.
I remember that from the 90s. So maybe if it's from the 90s, especially, we can get it from WGBH, whoever they were. Maybe there was
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know,
maybe there's some a little bit of a goof up.
Oh, who's winning?
Netflix or where you know what happened.
Alexa, stop.
You know what I mean? Because they because I remember that they had a really quality version, but maybe we were trying to get it off TV or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll give that feedback to Nick Laskowski. he was in charge of downloading the movie, and I'm not sure where he got it from. So I'll make sure that Nick knows that it was a kind of a different experience for different people.
Yeah, I've got an idea. Yeah.
So
yeah,
but yeah, that was what was interesting about that was that Nick couldn't get the picture to go through his projector, so it essentially was a blank screen with the audio.
Perfect.
And I said, well, most the people that probably enjoyed it the least were those that couldn't actually see it, or if they could see it and couldn't see it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For the sighted people that would normally be used to watching a movie, just hearing the audio.
They got the blind experience.
Right. But it's like I had that experience when my kids were little because we had a conversion van that had a TV in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids used to watch movies back there, and so I knew the whole dialogue to Forrest Gump, and there was another what was it? Up Periscope, the movie Up Periscope. I think I had the entire audio dialogue memorized by the time we'd heard it about 20 or 30 times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a different and finally it was a long time before I actually saw either of those two movies. So anyway,
so
that was kind of a big change for us this year.
I'm joking. I said then you get the idea. Lieutenant Dan's up in the rigging. Like before, you thought he was just railing at the storm, but now you get why.
Right.
So anyway, I digress.
Yep.
Any other camp experiences? How about the meals? How about the
say
hikes?
something?
Yep. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I was just thinking, the Clydesdale, the photography. I wanted the picture with the horses and stuff. I don't know who did that, and I should also say kudos to Roger and Winter Camp. We got a exchange between the club here in Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. They didn't know anything about Winter Camp, and these are people. They transported me to the camp as well as brought me back. So the Lions Club of Kalamazoo. That was their first experience. So maybe we can create something,
Yeah.
And so that was good. And then my counselor out of Grand Rapids, she hadn't heard of it. So she's putting the word out to the people that she deal with throughout northern Michigan. So it was a good experience.
Well, nice. Bill, let them also put word out about our summer camp too.
Well, hey, summer camp, I'm going to bring my my keto swim trunks, whatever you call it, this summer. My first experience.
Oh, right.
Your Speedo?
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't know how he looks in it, so it's all good.
Well, we're all blind, so it wouldn't make a difference.
You got that right.
There's people across the lake.
Woo! The only other thing that I did like too was the Lions project of tying the blankets. That was fun.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep doing that as long as we can afford to buy the fabric. Fabric is getting real expensive these days because a lot of the places are going out of business, and so so we are constantly on the hunt for blanket material. So if anybody has knows somebody that has it and just sitting around, they want to donate it, we gladly take donations of blanket material for that.
Well, you can get donations from sewing clubs. Clubs that, sewing groups and then, throughout, they donate those. They just give that away.
Right.
No.
So Kathy, the ones online we found are kind of cheap.
wait, hold on. To Bill's point, most of the stores these days, the ones who are trying to fill the gap of Joann Fabrics, they're carrying quilting fabric, just basic cotton fabric. They're not carrying the fleece. They're not carrying things that, seamstresses can make suits or people can make party dresses. They're only carrying quilting fabric.
Oh,
okay.
Like Michael's and places like that,
right. But yeah, so maybe the online ones, they just have to find the right weight, the right quality or whatever, but.
Right.
Go on Amazon. You can find everything on Amazon.
Maybe. Maybe sometimes they'll say there's only one left.
Oh yeah. Buy now.
I broke one of my cat's oval cat dishes, and I wanted to reorder them, and I wanted to get two of them. When I went to change the quantity, it says only one left, and it was only one color. I said okay. And then and they said it was going to be sent to me between June 1st in August 1st, and then it finally came yesterday.
So it's August 1st.
That sounds too sketchy. I'd be researching.
That was kind of weird.
Brand. All right, what else we got?
So I was going to mention that we had our craft person, previous craft person, Denise Griffin, came back with her friends. And for those of you who did crafts, how was that experience for you?
I had a good experience with them I made a scarf, so I'm proud of myself. That was my first time. Nice. It was a good experience for me.
They had some interesting things that they brought.
I played bingo all day.
Storeen commented that it was fun. She's playing with the dogs.
Okay. Hi, Jesse.
Yeah, hello. She said Burley helped pick out the beads for what?
The pen that we.
Oh, for the pen.
Oh.
The cane lady did a good job too. So I thought
that was funny.
Big time, right?
So did you say the cane lady?
The cane repair lady.
Yeah. Right.
Is that Teresa again?
So Teresa, yeah. So Teresa is going to be the district governor next year.
Wow.
And so she'll be still be doing cane repair, I'm sure. But
can't get out of that.
Yeah, that's right. She can't get out of that. Let's see what else. What else was different this year? We still had snowmobiles. We didn't have as much. We couldn't go on the lake because it wasn't cold enough to go on the lake, and we didn't want anybody falling through. We had a lot of people go snowshoeing. We had about 8 people go snowshoeing this year, and I don't know if anybody on the call did that, but I know the group from Flint did that, and they seemed to enjoy it. Let's see. We had a new horse guy, and I think he enjoyed it. He had some, his horses were really good, and we had good weather. Last year, as you know, we had a lot of ice, and so the horses had a hard time, and we had to transport people up to the top of the parking lot to ride the horses. So that was better this year, way better. Let's see.
So the bingo, the one thing that I observed was that they didn't restart a lot. So there was one time that I had Gary with me because I was trying to help him out. And it took us 25 minutes before we could get in on a game because they just kept doing bingos on the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. So I know that was really disappointing for people because they'd sit down or they wouldn't know if a number had been called or not.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that was a really a huge struggle.
Huh. Okay.
And that.
Okay. I will I'll get that feedback to the Bedford folks. Bingo.
But I think they did it a lot longer than what they had in the past. And I know people really do enjoy it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was glad that I could do it this year because I haven't done it the last couple years just because I've been doing other stuff.
Let's see. We had a great talent show. We had about 20 participants in the talent show. Bill, you were great.
Wow.
You got that baritone voice.
Only thing with some of the folks in the talent show, if they had music behind them, the music wasn't loud enough. So you could actually hear, what was, whatever. To me.
So one of the things that they've been doing the last couple of years is if somebody has like a musical accompaniment that they want to use or sing with, they download that. That's why they want people to let them know early what they want to do, and if they have music to let. And Nick has kind of taken over that tech with Tyrone, kind of the tech duties to get those things downloaded and make sure that they're available and stuff. And so I'll give them that feedback as well. Audio. So I'm on my list here. I've got audio descriptive, and then I've got music background. Okay. All righty. Well, this is what we're looking for, as to how to make it better. Um, Now, the other thing was the last 3 years we've had Bobby Holly, who is an entertainer from Battle Creek here. He does a lot of fundraising for youth, and he gives bicycles away. He raises money to buy bicycles for kids that don't have them, and he's got bad hips, and the last year he was here, it's like he was having kind of a hard time getting around, and he walks with a cane now. So it's he but we honored him on Saturday night with a plaque called the Heart of a Lion, and basically to honor him for the humanitarian work he does for the community, and he really enjoyed that. He was really pleased by that recognition, and he also got a lot of donations too. So he got about $800 in donations. I think one club gave him like $500, and the winter camp donates some money to him as well. And so it was a nice thing, and it was a nice addition to have that happen. One of the clubs, the Hanover Horton Lions Club, actually did the plaque. Roger Yoder, and he was going to be at the camp this year, but he had something else come up, I think a house problem or something. So, but he would have been there to probably help present that award because they actually make it. They actually put it together. So, but it's called Heart of a Lion, and it's sort of a Lions Club recognition. It's not a worldwide thing. It's just sort of a district.
I think it's a Roger thing.
Yeah, it's a Roger thing. Yeah, exactly. But I've heard of it before, actually. A few years ago, I think Mike Scott or somebody talked about the Heart of a Lion. So anyway, that was good.
I thought, excuse me, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I thought I was cool that he, while we were there at dinner, he sang a song or two for us.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, he wanted to go to the talent show. He wanted to see the talent show. And I think he did get up and sing a song, at least.
Right. I think it was at least one. I can't remember if it was more than that, but.
Yeah, he participated in that way.
He had to leave before it started.
Well, no, he was there for a while. He did have to leave about halfway through it, but I think he sang. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to. I'm not sure. Jesse, I have a question for you. I saw that you had your iPad. Were you recording the talent show?
I did record the talent show. I have not had a chance to go back and see if it actually turned out, but if it did, I'll get it, get the fluff cut out of it and put it up.
Right. Okay. I was just curious because I meant to ask you about it, and I never did. But so one of the things that I talked to a few people about was we had some videotapes from 1992 when the winter camp had their 25th anniversary. And so we had listened to a little bit of it prior to the talent show, I think it was, and we were going to see if we could figure out how to show it, but we just ran out of time. But I've purchased some of the equipment to actually convert a VCR over to a digital format. So I'm going to convert those videotapes over to a digital format, and then probably put them on YouTube, and so that people can see them. But the part we did listen to was the fellow that I guess it'd be whoever was doing what I do, back in 1992. His name was Arnie Stuckey, and Rosemarie knows who I'm talking about. Maybe others, but anyway, so this is like the opening night, Friday night welcome, and they. And basically they talk about what the activities are going to be, and they have different folks speak up about what's been going on, and A few clubs contribute money to the cause, but he was mentioning that they had 105 people at camp that year. So 105.
Campers or campers plus volunteers?
Campers. Oh. And he said this is down from where we have been at times.
Nick, back in the days, because I started coming to camp in 1981, and back then we used to have at least 100 people come to camp back in those days.
Yeah.
It was pretty high populated.
I was talking to Carl Noble after camp, and he said, "Yeah, we used to sleep in the lodge on the floor. We'd have our sleeping bags in there, and we'd sleep on the floor." And that's why they would have like a campfire cookout for lunch on Saturday, because they had so many people. I don't think they'd all fit in the dining room. And so anyway, it's pretty interesting. And actually Tyrone. There is a very young Tyrone, a very young Rosemarie Facilla, who are prominently featured in this videotape. And
I bet you Mike Smith was in there too.
Mike Smith was in there. Let's see. Oh gosh.
Going to be uploading this to our channel?
I'm gonna once I get it converted, I'm gonna upload it to the channel. Shirley, let's see. No, gosh. What's his name? I'm having a terrible time with names these days. But
what about Mike Gino?
Mike Gino was
Mike Gino was in
he was
there.
on the video.
And
Jerry Campbell was in the video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Gosh darn it. The person I'm trying to think of, Franklin, Judy Franklin, and what's her husband's name? Judy and Don.
You're talking about Don Lang?
Don Lang, yes, thank you.
Don Lang and Judy. You have young Don Lang and Judy. Yes.
I didn't see young Judy, but I saw young Don, and he was talking about old time radio. Bringing old time radio tapes.
Do that stuff. Yeah.
And so anyway, it was like I say, it was pretty interesting to me to see this. And what's interesting is that while we don't have as many people, it's kind of like we still do the same thing. We still do the same sorts of things that they did over 25 years ago. The sleigh ride or the wagon ride, the snowmobiles, the hikes, and
the one thing that we don't do anymore,
and all those things.
The one thing that we don't do anymore that we used to do is we used to make homemade ice cream in the basement.
Oh, right. Yes.
But the health department put a nix on that, so they don't let us do that anymore.
Is that why? Okay.
Yes.
Well, they talked about making ice cream,
Yep. And so, they would do that in the basement. Yep.
Well, there's modern ice cream makers, like you put it in all the contents in a ball and you shake it. So you can basically pass that around the room and everybody can shake it. And then it's cleaner because only one person puts the ingredients in. As opposed to the old kind where it was in a big wooden vat or something.
Yeah. No, actually they were in a thing where you cranked it.
But still,
everybody took turns cranking, the ice and the cream until it solidified. That's how we did it.
Right.
Right, but it was open. I'm saying that the contamination rate was higher.
Any of that kind of stuff is prone to contaminate.
Yeah, I guess, but back in the day, we didn't have any problems. Nobody got contaminated as far as we ever knew.
Would they, Roger, would they allow us to do it in the Ziploc bags, like the 2 Ziploc bag method? Would they allow that?
I don't know. If we didn't tell them, if we didn't ask them, they probably would.
Yeah, it's true.
Or there's the coffee can, the small coffee can, and
or the small coffee can and the big coffee can, because that would be kind of fun to do.
all you have to do is roll it back and forth if it's the
Just roll
it. I'm visualizing Kathy's ice cream in a ball, tossing it around, and most of it being on the floor. Somebody might not see it coming.
Serena's got me hungry for ice cream now. She's throwing ideas.
That's like kicking the can.
No, I'll try.
Right.
Play soccer with it.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Fun.
But even with,
Oh, and
with a
Roger,
machine, I
I
mean,
would
your
like to also,
ice cream
Roger, I would
in a
also like to
container.
say how nice the staff, the cooking staff was, and the young people that served us. They were so nice and so patient with us and friendly.
We had a really great group of associates from the Challenge Academy this year, and it was a great experience for them, as it usually is. Last year we had a couple of them that were a little lazy, I guess. I think they wanted not to be there, so they figured out how to get hurt so that they could go home.
Well, that's not good.
Somebody stubbed their toe. They stubbed their toe, and so it hurt. So they needed to go home. Yeah. But yeah, the cooking staff, I mean, that's one thing. The meals have gone up quite a bit, but the food is really good. So
very good.
I have to say that they don't skimp on the food.
The beef and the soup, different soups that they had.
That was a change as well. Because we always had chili before.
Yeah, they had the broccoli cheese soup. Oh my God, that was so good. I think I ate about 3 bowls of it. Now, me and cheese don't get along, but I ate it that day. Oh my God, it was good.
So I did want to ask about the Friday night dinner. So because we had last year, they're these drummies. They call them drummies. Okay, they're like little drumsticks. Last year they were breaded, and we had some people complain about that. And so this year we had what they called naked drummies. So they're more like just chicken, that's been baked or however they prepare it. And then I had some people complain about that this year. So,
I thought it was
they're on
great.
their own.
There was nothing as far as I'm concerned, there was nothing to complain about the food. All the meals were very good. I thought anyway.
I didn't know if anybody had a thought about those chicken drummies things, if they preferred one over the other, but
depends on how you advertise it. If you said fried chicken, I'm going to expect breading.
Right. We didn't call it that. We didn't call it fried chicken. We called it chicken drummies. So, and I think maybe people were expecting the breading and they didn't get it.
Can't they do both?
I suppose they could, but then, it's just that much more logistics.
The drumettes come scant with the breaded and unbreaded. And, when you buy the drumettes, that's basically what it's the short part of the wing.
Yeah. So that's a thought. I mean, maybe we could do one, some of each. But
I think some of each would make
makes
sense.
It a little more complicated, for the cooks and the servers,
I thought it was cool that one of the cadets that helped out last year, his name is Jacob. I kept in touch with him. He stopped by for a little bit Friday night just to say hi, which I thought was nice of him. He was gonna come back out on Saturday, but he had something come up. But I'm glad I got to talk to him for a little bit.
Right. I heard that he was going to stop by, and actually we've had some. See, these guys are in like college, generally, like in junior college, and so we've had a couple of them from this year even that inquired about how they could come back as a volunteer next year. So they enjoyed the experience so much. So we'll be in touch with them through the Youth Challenge Academy.
And these weren't the cadets then. These were the
these are the associates. Yeah,
associates.
They have not been sending cadets for about the last 3 years at least, if not more, if not longer than that.
Right.
Because what happens is the cadets are the folks that are just coming in fresh from wherever they're coming from, and a lot of times it's not a good situation for them. And so the folks who are the cadres, the supervisors for the young folks, they really want to make sure that they use the associates, because the cadets will only have been under their I don't want to say thumb, but
charge
under their charge for about less than a month, really, because it starts about mid-January or early January, and then we're like early February, so it's almost a month. And many times it's difficult to find out who is going to be the person that's going to be reliable and not cause trouble. Because I can tell you my son's experience, he works at a Youth Challenge Academy in Indiana. And, some of these kids are great. Other kids they really need a lot of help, and that help is in the form of discipline and just, a regular situation, a regular schedule, and real regimented lifestyle because they have not had that, and they're at the Youth Challenge Academy voluntarily, but sometimes it's more like a voluntold you to do this,
Right.
The option is, you're going to get in trouble and you might wind up in prison somewhere if you keep up what you're doing. So usually it's because people want to make a change in their life, and so they join one of these programs. It's not a punishment because, you can opt out. A lot of these kids can, if it's too much for them, they can opt out. Sometimes they get kicked out because they won't conform to the rules, or they won't, they fight too much, or they try to hurt somebody, and those kids get kicked out pretty quick. But, but like I say, my son's experience has been that, there's a lot of kids that really need the help, and these kind of programs, will help them, become way more productive in their life than they might have been. But the associates are the folks who have actually gone through the cadet program, and then, which is like a half a year. It's about a 6-month program, and they're old enough to go to college. And so but they want to stick around, and they've gotten used to the lifestyle. And so they want to stick around in that environment while they're going to school, because many of them are from other areas. They're not all from Battle Creek. There are a lot of kids from Detroit and who knows where. We had one kid from Ohio that was up there. And
well, they got to maintain a little bit of structure as they transition.
Oh yeah.
That structure is what they really
Roger, Serene and I are going to jump off because we have an executive board meeting, so we're going to head that direction.
Yep, I understand.
All right, everybody have a good day.
Okay, thanks, Jesse.
Bye, Jesse. Bye, Jesse. Serena.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So one of the things I needed to talk about, and we'll talk about this further, but so last year we had
You want to drive?
Hey, Bill.
Roger's trying to talk.
Hey, Bill.
I'm sorry, my driver just showed up. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Okay. So anyway, last year we had an incident with a cannabis gummy, and so we basically said, okay, this is school property. We really can't have this kind of thing at camp. So in our application materials, we put in that cannabis materials aren't allowed because it's a school property, and so please don't bring them or use them. And but this year we had, and I don't know if it was, well, we had a couple of people who, one person that was using cannabis out openly, and so we had a discussion with him and that person, but then there was a pervasive smell of cannabis throughout the camp, really. And I don't know if it was people that were actually smoking somewhere, or if maybe they use cannabis on a regular basis, and all their clothing and everything else that they brought was, kind of like saturated with the odor. But a lot of people were, offended by it. And if you're not used to it, it's kind of thing that if you use it, you're used to it. But if you don't, it's like really offending. And so, we're going to emphasize again that cannabis materials, and I guess if a person had gummies and they kept them to themselves and only used them themselves, then, we're not going to search people coming in. But we really can't have people smoking, because actually the camp was pretty concerned about it, because the odor was so strong in some areas that they didn't have any kids coming in the next week, but they said that if they had kids coming, like on Monday, that it would have been a big problem for them.
Wow.
So,
That's awful.
we just need
Nobody told on the users. You couldn't track them down.
no. Well, only because one person we actually, I mean, they were doing it in the open, and obviously didn't read the memo. But I'll be sending out a less subtle, let's put it this way, a less subtle communication about the use of, and if quite honestly, if a person can't live without it, and we're just going to say don't come to camp. If you can't, if you can't live without it, maybe you don't need to come to camp.
Well, at least keep it to yourself. But if you're making things intolerable and making other people upset and affecting the camp to where they have to clean or fumigate or whatever, that's just unacceptable and inappropriate.
Right, right. So, like I say, I mean, a gummy is pretty nondescript. It doesn't smell necessarily. So I mean, that's something that we're not going to ask people to empty their pockets at the door, but we are going to ask people to be respectful of others, especially when it comes to the odor of cannabis. And actually, Art, you and I were sitting in the lobby with Mike Gino, and he said, "Well, somebody's dog got into a skunk."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, that's a lot of times that's what it smells like.
Oh yeah.
It smells like a skunk.
Yeah.
And I use medical marijuana, but I use a vaporizer and things like that. But that's much different than if you're just smoking or you're getting it. Because I noticed it actually when I went to camp the year before, and I think someone's just not aware of the effect that they're having because they always smoke or they always whatever. But if it's really offensive, I just put in the letter strongly it's not allowed here. And if you can't control yourself as an adult, if you're offending people and we have to call you out on this, you're not going to be like to be sent home because how are you going to deal with that?
Right.
Right.
That'd be severe. If you don't have enough respect for people to keep your own boundaries, like Sam will sneak off in a corner by himself, out of sight, out of mind. That's okay. And I truly appreciate that. But if you just have no respect for other people's environment, you probably shouldn't be there in the first place, as Roger said.
Right.
I agree.
We had a few years ago.
When Roger, if you put something like some strong worded like that in the application, and if someone still violates it, I would just say they shouldn't be allowed to come back to camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they're walking home.
Right.
Without a sighted guide.
Oh, Sam, you're rough. You're
because I keep stuff under wraps, and I appreciate the good camaraderie people have. But if you're just disrespectful, that's a whole other ball of wax. And I'm not here to offend people, and I hope that most people aren't. And I hope most people are just unaware of what's going on of their actions.
I think that's the case. But anyway, I did want to, so as you talk to people, those of you who are on the call, as you talk to people, please let them know, and I'll put.
Another thing too, that's school property, and you're not allowed to smoke at school, any kind of school property. Just like in our apartment building here, we have notices that said this is a smoke-free building, and people should realize that it has something to do with the school system, so they should know that.
Well, people come from different backgrounds too. Did you make an announcement at the meals?
We did not. No.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah. So, but that did come up, Linda, about smoking because, theoretically, yes, you shouldn't smoke either. But I think basically the camp has decided that for adult groups that are there, that they provide, they put this little smokestack thing out by the flagpole, and essentially that's where you can smoke a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
So, some people.
I know even our apartment building, they say you have to be so many feet away from the building if you're going to go outside.
And nobody ever does that.
So, like I say,
they stand right in the doorway.
This is out by the flagpole, and probably we need to remind some people that, hey, you need to go over by the flagpole if you're going to smoke.
Right.
So.
Why not put it in your letter?
It is in the letter. Nobody reads it.
Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't see. I didn't see.
At least 5 of you now have said put it in the letter. It's in the letter.
Oh, okay.
It's actually on the front page of the letter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But like I say,
I'm gonna look and see next time when I get the letter for Angie.
Okay.
Mm.
So anyway, I know that nobody wants to offend anybody, but like you say, if you're not aware of how it affects people, then, you might not be thinking about it. Or if you just think it's okay, so,
Right.
but anyway, so I just, as a public service announcement, I needed to say that. So, hopefully, the winter camp this year was a lot of fun. I mean, the volunteers that came, we had several new volunteers, and they thoroughly enjoyed it and said that they'd be back next year. So we had like, about 20 volunteers that spent the weekend. And it really helped because we did have a lot more people this year. And I will tell the women that you need to get your applications in early.
That's for sure.
and actually, we might have to actually put a bit of a cap. I know that Rosemarie, the summer camp, has had a cap at times, but the other thing about it is, because of our budget, the camper fee doesn't cover the meals, and so the more people we have, the more it costs. And until we get some other groups to start contributing money, we actually did pretty good this year. But so we had about 44 women that were at camp this year, and only 17 men. So, but I don't want to put a cap on it if we don't have to. And if we can raise the money to cover the costs of it, then that's all well and good, because we want as many people to enjoy the experience as possible. But but yes, we are short of men all the time, and I don't know why that is exactly.
I wanted to express appreciation to B for being visible and having the district governor in residence and speaking out, and when we presented the plaque to Billie Holly, that she was a part of that I felt that added significantly to the camp, having her visible as our district governor the weekend at camp. I celebrated that.
Yeah. And actually the bigwig for the state, the council chair, she's in charge of all the district governors. Her name is Becky Hamill. She's from Durand, and she drove down to see what camp was all about. So we had a lot more exposure to a lot more different groups this year than we've had in the past, and it was great. And then the Shopper News called me and said, "Hey, sorry we didn't get out there. Can you send me an article and some pictures?" And so they ran an article after the fact, and so there's a lot more people that know about winter camp now than did, and I'm still going to be going to conventions and things. Actually, what I'm doing at the conventions now is trying to get people to contribute money, different Lions Club groups and different districts to help support it, because we have a lot of people that come from different districts than our own. So share the fun, share the love. That's what my message is. So, but anyway, so anybody else have anything that they'd like to share? Like I say, we
Renee wanted me to share that her dad was in the hospital.
That's right.
Who? Renee Nicholson. He was having some issues, so he was in the hospital.
Yeah, they've been spending a lot of time with him, I guess, at the hospital. So, yes, please keep Renee in your thoughts and prayers. You had sent me that message, and I should have mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, we kind of jumped right in today.
Yeah, we did. One of the things, and just I talked to a person at a Lions Club meeting recently who is from the Hazel Park Lions, and that's a Lions Club that Don Lang is a part of. And they were telling me that Judy has been having a real hard time recovering from some of her surgery. And I know that Marion Ward keeps in touch with those guys, and I was thinking that they might be on the call today, but I need to give Don a call and just see how they're doing. But the person that I was not expecting that did show up was Mike Gino, who has had basically gone through cancer treatment twice since we saw him at winter camp 2 years ago. And he also got married.
Yep, he is married now. Very happy.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that was a real nice positive development in his life.
Yeah, he's so happy about it.
Was it one of his nurses?
I don't know.
No, it's someone he met. I want to say he met her at church, but I'm not 100% sure now. But he met her, and they just got married, and they're very happy. She has kids. I think she has 2 kids. And now he's a stepdad.
Yeah, okay.
He's very happy about that.
Oh, Mike's a great guy.
He is. Well, real sweet guy.
I got to get going.
So
okay, well, everybody have a good time until next month.
All righty. So the third Saturday, I think, is still good for everybody. Let's see.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we don't have to be in Shanty Creek.
Are you going to Shanty Creek?
That's from the state convention, yeah.
Right.
And Andrea asked if maybe Jack and I can bring him with. I told her I talked to him about it. So.
Do you want to share my table? I've got a table for winter camp. Would you like to share it for?
I'll ask Jack about it. We can maybe put some stuff out there about summer camp. So
if you want to bring some flyers or something like that, or some information, that'd be great. We'll put
okay, cool. I'll let him know that you offered that, and we could share your table. Okay.
So the 18th of April would be our third Saturday. So my calendar is clear. So
it's April 18th?
April 18th.
Okay.
All right. Well, everybody have a good month, and we'll keep you up to date when summer camp gets closer.
All righty. Happy Easter, everybody.
Okay, everybody, Easter, and take care.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Hey, Jim.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye, Linda.
Yes.
So, Jim, you had your hand up, and I apologize that I didn't call on you.
Oh, well.
Whoa. I'm sorry.
I was going to make a comment about, Matthew was very adamant about that marijuana problem.
Yeah. Right. Yep. So, yeah, I'll when I send these notes out, I'll emphasize that. There's another thing that I was going to mention. So you wouldn't know about this in Jackson, but there's a company over here called Michigan Midwest Enterprises for the Blind. And essentially it's a government contractor that employs people who are blind. And the guy sent me their annual report, which I never read an annual report before, not even the company I worked for. But I read this thing all the way through because it was really pretty inspiring as to their history and their mission. And so I was gonna send that to you and B and the rest of some of the folks in the district just to take a look at, because they helped sponsor this 5K run over in Kalamazoo that started a couple of years ago. They have a huge outreach program. And but anyway, it's pretty interesting. And excuse me. Ugh. Anyway, so how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Got a little tired last week because I took B to the C2 convention.
Oh yeah, right.
After the wind ripped siding off the side of our condo building and dropped a couple trees out in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
It dropped a tree on both sides of someone's car, never touched the car, just missed hitting the garage I'm parked in out there. In fact, I was worried about that. I seen a tree out there the night before. I'm going, it better not have bounced off the back of my garage. So when I opened the garage at about 7:20 Saturday morning, I better not see a hole back here. You know? But by then, the second tree had fallen. I couldn't see